Nobody is responsible except you. Because you are the world and the world is you. You have created this mess. You alone can bring about clarity. Therefore, you are totally, utterly, completely responsible, and nobody else.
My mind goes to the last years of Krishnamurti's life, because during that time he spoke constantly, really, to those who were involved in his, quote, work, unquote. And what he was saying, in effect, was, I'm gone. What are you going to do?
What business leaders do is they do what's called succession planning, and they put together a formal plan about how it's going to unfold. He didn't tell you what to do.
No, we never
He put
did.
forth the question and the challenge.
It was exercise in futility to ever ask Krishnamurti how or what. He would want it to come out of you.
But if you are serious, what is your responsibility towards all this? How far will you go in your responsibility? How deeply? How widely? Or limit oneself to one's own little life, one's own little experience, pleasures, and forget the vast human suffering, poverty, not be concerned with a one particular type of war, or be concerned with the ending of all wars.
I would say the responsibility of this foundation and the other Krishnamurti foundations is to see that these teachings are as widely distributed as possible, either in books, on tape, or free over the internet. He speaks to the every person in the world, and the responsibility then of the foundations is to see that that every person has access to those teachings.
He left an enormous legacy. He taught non-stop for 60 years. So the volume is just incredible. And it does need a lot of preservation and protection.
And the main way to do that was to follow archival guidelines and to build a vault to store the collection, which is humidity controlled and temperature controlled. So essentially, the whole idea of this building was the core part of this building is the vault. We've got 1-inch tapes, 2-inch tapes. We've got a wire recording from 1949. We've got 16mm film.
If we lose the source material, then we won't be able to say this is an authentic work by Krishnamurti. And then the careful editing to something that can be put in print form. And then establish meetings with the publishers at book fairs.
We go BEA New York, then we go Cape Town Book Fair in South Africa, then we go Beijing Book Fair in China, and then we go to Frankfurt Book Fair in Germany. We go to the Miami Book Fair in Florida, and then we go to the Guadalajara Book Fair. And what we try to do, Michael and I talk a lot about, you know, well, where isn't Krishnamurti represented in the world, and if he's not there, let's go there.
The primary project has been up till now what we're calling the digital archives. So we're building now the beginnings of the digital archives along with Eric, the real IT expert, and Ken, the digitizer, the videos, and Wendy, the archivist, to try to help coordinate all these different elements. This could take decades if we just moved along at our regular pace. But we'd like to be done in a year, you know, and it's possible. And if we had the funding, we could do it.
We've had weekly meetings. in which we discuss this very thing. What are we doing? What should we be doing? What are we not doing? And also the relationship to the teachings. How are we each one meeting that? And it's both an examination of the work of the foundation, but of also each one of us as human beings.
But how do we measure if we're actually doing that?
How would you measure it, Dave?
Just measure it right here. Is it alive in this room? Is it alive inside of us? Is it alive in any moment that we're meeting it?
And if I tell you who I am, what does it matter? First of all, I'm nobody. But to find out who you are, not who the speaker is far more important. And to find out who you are, you have to inquire. You are the story of mankind, which is really a very, if you really see that, it gives you tremendous vitality, energy, beauty, love. Because it is no longer a small entity struggling in the corner of the earth. You're part of this whole humanity. It has a tremendous responsibility, vitality, beauty, love. But most of us won't see this. But whereas we are most of us concerned with ourselves, with our particular little problem, particular little sorrow and so on.